Hey, how's it going guys? I'm Ryus and welcome to my channel. I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to another Onmyoji guide video. For today's video, we are going to continue our progress of the story battle. This time will be chapter 3. It has 4 battles in part 2, 3, 5, and 6. The most difficult part will be on part 6, so look forward to that. Now that's out of the way. Let's get into the battle, shall we? For part 2 battle, we're still going to use our deck from last time. Remember what I told you last time? Before starting any story battles, check your buff and the opponent's buff. The opponent has a buff that makes their non-attack damage plus 1, and our buff is every 3 turns add a mind read to our hand. I'll explain what mind read does later. So first we're just going to activate Inugami spell and attack. Then we'll activate mind read. It has 3 effects. Mind read combat effect is on the next turn, when the opponent activates a combat card, it will have no effect and the Shikigami that played it will take 2 damage. The spell and the form works the same way too. For this battle, we're mostly going to choose spell because they have a lot of projectile type spell. See that? The opponent activates 3 spell and all of them are negated. On our turn, we're just going to attack with Inugami and pass. On their turn, Otengu will attack Inugami, then Hooka will activate her spell and kill Inugami. We want to save our cards until they have a Shikigami on their combat zone, so we can kill it. On their turn, they're just going to attack with Umibozu and put a form card on Hooka, then pass. It has been 3 turns, so we got another mind read. Since Hooka already has a form, might as well pick spell again just in case they do activate one. We're just going to evolve and put a form on Hooka, then pass. They activate Yuki-Ona's spell, and she died. Then attacks with Umibozu. On our turn, we're going to put a form card on Sakura, then attacks with Inugami, killing Umibozu. Then on their turn, Hooka will kill Inugami with her spell, then attacks with Otengu. On our turn, we're going to evolve Sakura and activate Flower Cloud Oath. We managed to kill Otengu and extends the cooldown of Umibozu. On their turn, they are going to attack with Hooka. This means the spells in their hand is probably for other Shikigami. On our turn, we're going to activate Death Penalty on Hooka, then attacks with our own Hooka. Since we got another mind read, we're just going to activate the spell once again. To be honest, the only form that is annoying to deal with is Yuki-Ona's form. They're going to attack with Yuki-Onna, and she dies for nothing. Then on our turn, we're just going to activate Strike Evil 2 times and it is finished. For part 3, I made another cheap alternative for story battles. This one is a lot slower than the Inugami deck, but it makes up with more survivability and ease of use, I guess. Most of the duel is won without using Jimenju Evolve card, so if you don't have that card, you can do it without it. Let's get started. Now, the opponent's Shikigami is pretty much Unga Bunga, big attack, assault, assault, assault! So, for our mind read, we're just going to go with the combat. We're going to put a form card on Jimenju and attack. The opponent buff is whenever their Shikigami attacks, we're going to take 1 damage direct. This may seem weak, but remember, the opponent has a lot of combat cards, so that 1 damage will build up pretty fast. So we're going to activate our mind read and take the combat one. On their turn, they are just going to attack with Yamawaro and Path. We're going to put a form card on Kaoru and attack with Jimenju. This deck, you don't really have to worry about Jimenju attacking the opponent. As long as he has 1 health left, we're going to be fine. So I'm just going to fast forward a bit just to save time. We also have to take advantage of Hoka's spell to remove the opponent's problematic Shikigami. Just don't use the spells on Yamawaro, we can deal with him easily. Yotohime with that form is pretty dangerous, so I'm going to cast Calamity Bloom on her, so she will die later. At this point, Jimenju will get bigger and bigger, and the opponent will have no way to deal with him, and we will win.
手加減はせんぞ。心の休まる場所、それこそ我がふるさと。
私の体はお前たちの醜さを映す鏡だ。よくまだ戦う力が湧いてこねえ。力がガンガン湧いてくるね。おや
弱くても大切な人は守りたいの。
For the battle of Part 5, the opponent is using a deck that used both spells and combat cards equally. But this time our buff is different, and so is the opponent's buff. We're still going to use the same deck.
男はな、しっかりと身近な人を守らねばならぬ。
The opponent's buff is quite dangerous though. If he gets a 5 on a dice roll, the Shikigami will get to attack 2 times. Good thing Jimenju has high health, so we don't really have to worry about it early game. We're going to put a form card on Jimenju and attack Kusa. Our buff is the same as our enemy on Part 3 battle. The opponent will attack with Kusa and gets a 5 on his roll, making Kusa deal 4 damage. Good thing we already have Kaoru's buff, so we attack Kusa and pass. On his turn, he's going to attack with Inugami, but we have Kaoru's trigger, making our Jimenju immune to damage this battle. I should have saved it for later, to be honest. On our turn, we're going to evolve Hooka, put a form on her, and activate Phoenix Cry, dealing 3 damage directly and 2 damage straight to Shuten, killing him in the process. Now this is going to be a pretty long battle of me just going back and forth attacking with Jimenju, slowly chipping his life away, so I'm just going to fast forward this bit.
炎の中に命の意味を探すのです。
心の休まる場所、それこそ我がふるさと。少し休もう。心の休まる場所、それこそ我がふるさと。
大樹の下で涼みたいのか。
わしの負けだ。
俺様はそう簡単に言わねえ。俺様の足元にひれ伏せ。その罪死をもって償え。酒を持ってこい。
やけどに気をつけて。
もうすぐ秋だ。
春の気配感じません？
すべての悪運の源、人間自身の行いにあるのだ。
戦いはまだまだ終わっていない。真剣だ。
この美しい花、不吉な輝きを放っている。
桃の花の香りで癒されません？
さあかかってこい。さらに強くなってやるぜ。
少し休もう。
We're going to activate Bane and just sit back and relax because he will not get over this guy.
Saらに強くなってやるぜ。
まずい。
春の気配感じません？
For the finisher, we're just going to attack with Hoka because our buff will take care of his remaining life. Now this is probably the one you're looking forward to seeing. For this battle, we're going to use Satori's Mind Read again, so we're going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to use my Onikiri Mitsume deck that I showed you on my deck showcase video. Check that out if you want to see the deck list. Now this battle is fairly easy to manage. You just have to pay attention which of his Shikigami is alive. If Hooka, choose Spell. If Yamawaro, choose Combat. My advice is always kill Hooka first because her spells are annoying and it gives stats boost whenever it resolves. On our turn, we're going to activate Mind Read, Spell, put our protection on Mitsume and a form card on Kaoru and pass.
今度こそ私が守ってあげる。
The opponent tries to activate a spell and it will not resolve, then he attacks our life and pass. On our turn, we're going to attack with Mitsume and pass. The opponent will attack Mitsume with Yamawaro, and Kaoru's trigger card activates, making Mitsume immune to damage this battle. On our turn, we're going to attack Yamawaro with Onikiri, then activate Mitsume's stats boost spell, and pass, leaving one orb for Onikiri trigger card. On their turn, they will attack with Hooka, and it will be met with our Oni Slash. killing Hoka, then he will pass. It's been 3 turns, so we get another mind read. We're going to put a form card on Mitsume, activate mind read combat, then Mitsume stats boost spell. Finally, we're going to attack. On their turn, they evolve Yamawaro and tries to use a combat card, but it is negated. But because he has evolved Yamawaro, the -2 damage will not affect him. So from this point on, all you have to do is slowly build up Mitsume's attack with his spell and Momo's healing. So I'm going to fast forward this a bit. Once your Momo get to her level 3 form, you basically win. Because even if they get over Mitsume, your other Shikigami will do the job just fine. He attacks Mitsume with Yamawaro, killing both of them and dealing 3 damage to our Shikigami. Which is great because Momo will heal herself and the others, making them big enough to hit for lethal.
苦しみも恨みも全てこの刀で断ち切る。
Well, that's all for today's video. I hope you find it somewhat helpful. I actually forgot to turn on the 60 FPS setting for this video, so I apologize for that. On Tuesday, I will be dropping another deck showcase video, so look forward to that. Until then, see you next video. Bye!